And that's the whole point. You know, like some people were doing like fan fictions and stuff, but like I think that that's why it's so frustrating. Is because like you like so like figuring out that you're the king or whatever, and that's also the point of it. Some of it's poison. So like what's happening in the kitchen over there, so there's food in there. Those photos of them, that's poison. And so like that's what's happening. It's like that is somebody being petty as fuck. Ozai, that is somebody being petty. That's what's happening. All life lost all of its meaning because he is being a narcissist, like the Fantasia, the Sultan, and Jasmine's Fountain. That is somebody being petty and narcissistic. And that's the whole point of this. There's been 31 years of people having to fucking put up with this narcissistic garbage. And there's literally, that's the whole point of Two Worlds, One Family in the Titanic sinking, is that there is a simple solution, is that it's like, you have been having to um have this person's been trying to force himself on you. That's really what it is that there is a narcissist that has been stalking you and trying to force himself on you. And that's the simple solution, is that's what the Beauty and the Beast thing is, the enchantment. Is you see like the mosaic, like that flower was there already. Like she might have, unlike she was also like the beggar woman is in the photo, so he just sees a depiction of himself because he's the king on the throne, like Sword in the Stone, like Wart. So like he sees a depiction of himself, and like that's why he gets trapped in there with a mirror. Because like somebody tries to make a depiction of him, just like the Golem in 300. Someone tries to make a depiction of him that is not attractive or whatever, and then he like is like, oh, I'm not into that or whatever. And then like the financial system and kind of how everything works is that like there, and again, like religious people, because there's like a cross too. So like religious people are like being assholes because like they're trying to force this religious stuff, and he's like, because again, something very small, like the enchantment gift or whatever, like something very small of like this person is like, oh, I'm not gonna do that because like this is an ugly actor or something, or like I'm not gonna have sex with this person in my job. Sometimes like actors have to have sex in roles or whatever, even though it's usually fake. But I think that that's kind of what it is. Like there are these things that will happen, like the Ant Queen. Like there are these petty things that will happen that are like either behind the things stuff or like stuff that's happening with the producers and like these things that are happening that like some religious person is going to take advantage of. And then what happens is this kingdom falls into disarray because of this like very small thing that happened, because that's what happens. Like peasants and religious people are small, petty people. Family, like the concept of family, the personal indulgences, that is small, petty stuff. And so like the king on the throne is like he earned that, like he by pulling the sword out of the stone. Whereas like some people are just like born kings. So like he is like having like I think what is happening is when he learns that he is king, when he like realizes that like he is actually the king, and that these photos of him are depictions of himself, but then he sees one that isn't what he like wants it to be or whatever. Like then people are like being like then the like religious people take advantage of that, and then like the kingdom falls into disarray because somebody has taken advantage like of the king being like, oh, that is a painting that is not like worthy of me or whatever. And then these religious people take advantage of it, and then I get trapped with Jafar, a narcissist who is sexually assaulting me. And that's what it is. It's like as a king, you have to, like the prince is spoiled. So like when he becomes king, he has to realize and learn like you can't have that kind of pettiness in your kingdom, and you can't have like you have to like make these decisions as king of like what is what the role of the like that's, I think that's like an oligarchy or something, or theocracy, like what is going to be the role of the spiritual or like the religious people in the society, because that's the kind of shit that topples a whole nation, is some fucking narcissist taking advantage of like a prince or someone, like, and again, like the old woman's ugliness, like someone in a conservatorship or a guardianship, is that somebody tries to make a decision that is not like that is not that like the prince's decision or whatever. And like the old woman's ugliness is like the your parents like forcing shit on you, or like somebody trying to force you to marry somebody, or someone trying to force you to do something for money, or someone trying to force you to do something for religion. And then it's like that's your, as a king you have to be like, well, that's not conducive to the whole society. And so when you earn the whatever it is that you're having to earn, love, respect, admiration, whatever, like, and that's probably what was bring back the once was mine, like we earn the admiration, but like Dolores was trying to make that like earn love, but you don't earn love. Love just is what it is. And so like I think that that was what was happening. So it's like somebody being petty can like it's like a domino effect. Somebody being petty or like a door stopper. Like a door stopper can close, it can stop a door. It's a small object, but it can like stop a door. And so like that's the whole point of it. Like with the redstone torches, like someone can take advantage of a very small thing. And so it's like if you make this small oversight that like even like a small group of people takes advantage of, your whole kingdom can be toppled. And that's why like as a king you have to be aware and you have to actually be intelligent enough to have like a to actually formally like address like religion and to actually formally have like a role of the religious people in society so that they don't uprise. Like I think that that's the whole point of the Beauty and the Beast thing is that it's like insurgencies and like peasants and religious people. It is frustrating that these ants like are in your kingdom, but just like termites and rodents in a house, that is just in your kingdom. It's frustrating. It's part of the mural. It's frustrating and it's horrible. But like as a king, you have to learn, like just like the choices in the Fable game, you have to actually be like earn that admiration. And then your kingdom, like how the when the spell is broken or whatever, quote unquote, like and like when the kingdom is restored, like how much of it is restored and how bountiful and beautiful it is, that is contingent upon how you actually like incorporated the people that were attacking you and like the small peasant like petty ant shit into your kingdom or whatever, and how you actually address those. It's reflected in your rule and it's reflected in the mural. So like the painting that he sees that he like that like instigates the problem, like once he realizes that he is the king, and once he realizes that that was a mosaic, and that like the thing that like how the problem started, which is like this like somebody taking advantage of like a photo or making an ugly depiction of him. Like once he realizes how much of the kingdom actually is his, and once he realizes how much of the kingdom and how much of that kingdom was a mural, and that like that photo may have already been there and doesn't really matter. And once he realizes that that doesn't actually matter as much as it does, then he won't be giving power to it the way that he was because he was being vain. And so then he'll see that that full mosaic was already there. He'll see that all of these depictions of himself were already there. And so then that will be reflected, like it's your reflection. That will be reflected in the king's rule. And he'll be like, oh, yes, I overcame that. Like that was a really frustrating thing that had me in a rut for a while because I wasn't aware how vast my kingdom was and that that didn't actually matter. And then like how gracefully you like overcame that and incorporated incorporated how you like navigated that like ordeal, that would be reflected in the genuine like representation of yourself that you were actually like manifesting and creating. And so then like your like King Wu is a beautiful representation of who I actually am and what I actually look like and how I would actually design myself. And so like all of these other things are depictions, but like that's what being a king is realizing how like expansive your kingdom is and then like overcoming the like negative situation that had you in the rut. And then you see that like you are designing your whole life. And like as you are designing your life, those smaller things that weren't in your control when you were a child, you'll see that they were small things the whole time. They were ant things the whole time. And like once you like grow into your power, once your power is actually growing, and once you actually become the king that you are, like that will be like distant memories, just like a like something